Well, hello there. You look like the kind of person who leaves amazing comments on YouTube videos. Come on in, take a load off. Can I ask you a question? You clicked on this video for a reason, right? Is it because you love or at least have an interest in Final Destination 3? Are you curious about my thoughts on the film? So you'll give me 10 minutes of your time because I'm going to discuss something that we're both clearly interested in? I knew it. You're a damn good viewer. Let's get to it. Final Destination 3. But real quick, just between us, I fucking hate roller coasters. Listen, okay, so back in high school, my senior trip actually, it was a pretty lame senior trip because we just went to Kings Island, right? And at this point, I had never ridden a roller coaster before in my life. Like, I had no interest in it. I mean, it's high off the ground, it moves really fast, which are two things that I personally don't really care too fucking much about. And so we're there, and like I'm hanging out with my friends and stuff, and there's just people everywhere, and I'm not really paying attention to what's going on. We're just laughing and joking, and and then this dude's like, if you'll just step this way. And I turned and looked, and we were at the fucking entry gate for goddamn Top Gun. And I was like, you motherfuckers. Thunderstorm. I don't know if you can hear it. We'll find out later. Anyway, back to the story. And so they knew me. They knew me very well. They knew that my pride, my foolish pride, wouldn't let me just turn around and go back the other way. So I got on the damn ride. And it was everything I thought it was going to be. It was fast, it was thrilling, it was exhilarating, right? Like I got off the ride and my heart was racing and my blood was pumping and I felt this extreme sense of euphoria. And all my friends were like, see, we told you it was amazing, right? You loved it. I bet you can't wait to go to the next roller coaster. And I was like, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you. I'm out. And I didn't talk to anybody else for the rest of the trip. I just went and got snacks and shit and just walked around the park and, you know, kind of like enjoyed not being on a roller coaster. So anyway, Final Destination recounts the heartwarming tale of a senior class who go to an amusement park on what I think was their senior trip. And then they get on a roller coaster and it goes fucking off the rails and everybody dies. And then we, boom, it was a premonition. And the amazing Mary Elizabeth Winstead saves everybody's life and gets them off the roller coaster, and then death comes back over the next couple of weeks and kills every last one of them in a very, very gruesome and horrifying way. Fuck, why is this one so good? Listen, way back when I first watched this one, I thought to myself, okay, it didn't do anything different. There's nothing new about it. It was alright. But like, all of these years later, rewatching this one, it is so fucking good. How is this one so good? Alright, well, we're going to get into it real quick. So, I trust you're going to stick with me on this, because I clearly put a lot of time and effort into this. Right? Anyway, pro number one is the cast. This, way back when I did the first movie, I said that this was the best cast possibly in a Final Destination. I was wrong. It's this one. It's like, I know what the fourth one is, and it's other garbage, but this one has an amazing cast, right? Mary Elizabeth Winstead is probably the best actor in the franchise so far, maybe ever. And then Texas Battle, bro. He is the embodiment of this movie's vibe and energy, right? Just loud and bombastic and aggressive, and that's kind of what this movie is. And then there's Chris Lemke, who I'll never understand how this dude's career never took off, right? Ginger Snaps, My Little Eye, this movie. Bro was like the goth kid of the early 2000s. And I looked him up. He's still doing stuff, but like I was expecting more. Like maybe like a Kyle Gallner type path. But that's not what happened. He barely even looks like what I think he should look like. But anyway, that's besides the point. In this movie, he just kind of has like this effortless charm about him. And like, even when he's channeling some like really deep darkness, which he does so well, he's always kind of playing that character, right? the one who's just kind of like on the borderline of morality, but you still like him, and it's because of that charm that he has. Look, it's not just them though. Every character in this film feel very relatable to me, even the ones who are like comically stereotypical. All this kind of have like this like authentic fucking feel about them, and the cast that it's the cast. The cast makes this happen. Okay, they're so much fun to watch in all of their quirky goodness, and there's really only one bad character in the movie, and believe me, at least to me, it's a really bad character, but I'll get to that later. I want to keep talking about the good stuff because there is a fucking plentiful in this movie. Let me tell you. I mentioned earlier with Texas Battle being like the embodiment of this movie's like vibe and energy, and this movie has so much goddamn energy. It's like I don't know, like from point one, like the movie starts and it just feels fast, right? Like the pacing in this one is so tight. Tight. And then it's also kind of like the formula perfected too. They've got like you have here's the characters, here's the premonition, and then after that it's like character scene, death sequence, character scene, death sequence, character scene, death fucking sequence, and it's perfect. It creates this amazing character economy where like they just focus on the two main leads. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and whoever the guy is who plays Kevin. I didn't look up his name, but I thought he was fine. I didn't think he did bad in this movie. But like every one of the character scenes, like those two characters are together the entire movie, right? They're like together, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to solve the problem, like really getting to know each other, having these little character moments with each other, and it's like where the other two movies had these weird little love story angles that didn't really work or feel realized to me, this one fucking nails it. And I don't even think it's supposed to be a love story. I'm pretty sure they're just supposed to be friends. But I wanted to see them fuck at the end of the movie. They were so damn charming together. Didn't happen. Anyway, whatever. Fantastic movie, great pacing, which was my problem with the other two films. I thought the pacing was fucking miserable. Not here though. This one doesn't waste any damn time, and I mean any damn time. Like the second one didn't waste a lot of time until it got to the character stuff. This one doesn't even waste time there. All the other side characters, they give them like just enough, right, to make them like interesting while they're on screen, but they don't really spend a lot of time with them. But for some reason, I still think this might be the best set of characters in one of the Final Destination movies. Alright, so real quick, I just wanted to say, you may be one of the best viewers I have ever had. Like, you're really hanging in there. I love it. Thank you so much for that. No more convenient premonitions. If you've watched the other two movies in the series, you know what I'm talking about. Every other second, like Alex or Kimberly or whoever the main character of the movie is just like, they're like in a car, they're like, they look over the window and they're like, oh, there's a fucking bus. Oh, bus is gonna kill somebody. I don't know why. It's stupid. It feels like there's like a counter force to death that's trying to prevent death from accomplishing its plan, which is something that they never set up or discuss or talk about. And it just kind of feels like death is, warning them that it's coming before it happens. But in this movie does away with that, and it gives us the pictures. At the beginning of the movie, Wendy, that's Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character's name, is like taking pictures at the amusement park for the yearbook. And they, later revisit those photos, and they can see like things in the photos, like a fucking bullet coming through someone's head, or like spikes hanging above somebody or something, and they're like, that's what's going to happen to them. So they have to take these pictures and try to figure out what's going to happen, and that feels organic to the world that the movie is set in, and it works so much better than, oh my god, a fucking bus! Nah, dude! Fuck those stupid premonitions in the first movie. Oh! And also at the end of the movie, right, so with the pictures, like I said, it was, shows them what's going to happen. Like the two main characters, Wendy and Kevin, they don't They don't bother to fucking check the pictures of themselves until the end of the movie. They're like, we don't want to fucking know. And I can't blame them. I won't want to know. I want to know how I'm going to die. I'm terrified enough of death as it is. But like at the end of the movie, right before the third act starts, they're like, it's time to look at our pictures. And so they go look at their pictures and they're like, oh, that's what's going to happen to me. So they get to go into the third act with this knowledge, right? It kind of creates this tension, right? Because you're watching, because you have the knowledge too, and you're like, how is that going to turn into that? It's good. It's just so good. And finally, 3 movies in, there's not really a single death in this movie that I can complain about. As a matter of fact, I think these may be some of the best deaths in the entire fucking franchise. Right? There is tons and tons of carnage candy, right? Blood, guts, viscera, it's just everywhere. It's exploding all over the damn screen. And there's like just this right amount of buildup. You know how it was like in the second one I was talking about how they play like little murder mysteries, but like the final blow almost never had anything to do with what was going on. Not in this one. Every little detail that happens during the build-up to that final blow serves that final blow. Everything in it's that they're not really Rube Goldberg tracks in this one. They're just like a sequence of events that leads to someone's death, and it's just really well done here. The tanning bed scene. I think that's the most famous death from this movie, and for good reason. It's so good, and I think that like the comically stereotypical like popular high school mean girl personas that this happens to, it was designed to make a very certain group of people go, yeah, they deserved that. I'm not really in that camp, but like you can feel there's like a particular meanness to it. It's the meanest death in the movie. It's the longest, it's the most drawn out, and that normally happens with the first one, but it kind of feels like the filmmakers might have took a little bit of perverse joy in killing these two characters off. I can neither confirm nor deny that is the situation, but it feels like it. And then the gym sequence, the Texas Battles death sequence, where Wendy's walking around this gym with all these fucking meatheads who are just like slamming weights everywhere, like pounding on walls. There's like water everywhere, and like people are slamming their boom boxes down, and like everything on the walls is shaking, and they're just grunting, rah rah. Like, it's so goddamn ridiculous, but it's also so fucking accurate. Look, I used to be a power lifter. I used to do that. I was in the gym. I was one of those meatheads, right? Like, and it's 100% true. You get a bunch of dudes into a room with a bunch of weights, and you get them to start moving heavy shit around, and they start acting like Neanderthals. It's just a fucking ridiculous scene, and it's wonderful. It's really kind of everything this movie is about. And like, that's the last thing that I really want to talk about in like the good column here is the main end of the movie. Death is like really super fucking pissed off in this movie. And it is no better categorized than at the main end of the movie when Wendy gets her last premonition. And it's basically just like Death going, I'm fucking tired of you. You've pissed me off. This is exactly what I'm gonna do to you. And there's not one fucking thing you can do about it. And then it happens. It's just so beautiful. All right, we're going to move on to the cons section now, and I just wanted to say that you are going to stick it out. I can tell. You're going to stick it out for the rest of this video because there isn't much of the video left anyway. There's not a lot of cons, and you've already come this far. So clearly, you're going to finish, right? You look like the kind of person who sees things through. So let's do this. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Number 1, no Tony Todd. What the fuck? Okay? I get it. His voice is in the movie, and he does have, oh my god, he had, rest in peace, he had one of the voices, right? You heard that voice, and you knew, you're like, Candyman? Candyman's fucking here. Candyman's fucking here. And so he voices the devil at the amusement park ride that kills everybody at the beginning of the movie, and he voices the train conductor at the end of the movie. So it does kind of bookend the movie. But I wanted Tony Todd to come like pushing out of one of those rooms, just towering over everybody, just being like, "Death's one bad motherfucker, and he's gonna kill you, and you can't do anything about it." And that didn't happen. That's like two of the highlights of the first two movies, even if the scene in the first movie doesn't really work. But like, it's Tony Todd. How could you not want more Tony Todd in the movie? But like, let's get on to an actual complaint, a very solid one, and one that might be a little controversial. I don't know. So the premonition in this movie is kind of fucking lame, right? I don't get it. And I think when I think back on it, like, this one bugged me when I saw the movie the first time, and I remembered it being really bad. But I think that's just my own personal loathing of roller coasters, because on this rewatch, it's so quick, and there's like little to no build-up to the event. Wendy doesn't see any like red flags get on the roller coaster. Like, we see a couple, but like, she doesn't see any. She doesn't really have any reason to get off the roller coaster other than the fact that she is, you know, afraid of being on roller coasters. And then when the premonition does happen, for some reason, somebody somewhere said, "We're just gonna strip the shit out of the goddamn camera so nobody can see any fucking thing, and we're gonna fill it full of horrible CGI, and all of the deaths are just gonna be people falling off screen. We'll give them one where a dude gets cleaved in half, but that's it. That's all they get." So the premonition in this one is not good. I don't like the premonition in this one, and I feel like it's a bigger shortcoming because it's following up part 2, which has like probably the premonition, right? The premonition that traumatized a generation. But this one, not so much. God damn, you are definitely getting a gold star for this one. You are just really sticking it out. If the goddamn screen wasn't in the way, I'd give you a fucking high five, motherfuckers. Let's do this. Alright, we're almost there. Frankie fucking G is no Rory. I hate this character. Right? Like I mentioned earlier that there's some comically stereotypical characters in this movie, and that is true. Like Ashley and Ashlyn, they have the same fucking name. They're basically the same character. They're comically stereotypical high school mean girls. But Frankie G is a shit stain of a character on this movie, especially when compared to the rest of the characters. Like, they say, "Oh, you've been out of high school for 2 years." Dude's like 45. He's like 45 and trying to mac on high school chicks at an amusement park. He's gross. He calls women fun bags. There's nothing funny about him. I really feel like they wanted to try to channel what they accomplished with Rory in the second movie. But Rory was like a lovable degenerate, right? Like, you just looked at Rory, you're like, this guy's an idiot. Like, he's just an idiot. He wasn't like calling people horrible things or like being a horrible narcissistic prick or anything like that. I was so, like, when that fucking engine block just the back of his fucking head, loved it. Hated the character, loved the death. And the last thing that I really want to talk about here, or complain about rather, in this portion of the video, is the plot armor that a couple of the characters have in the final act of the movie. Look, Kevin and Julie should have fucking died in the third act. Like, no jokes, right? So Julie's death involved getting drugged to death by a horse. And there was like a rope, like a thick, hard, strong rope around her neck. There's several scenes where the horse will like change directions or speed up this way, and you watch this rope just like jerk her fucking head. She's got a broken neck. She's dead. She's fucking dead. And then Kevin, who's supposed to get like fireworks exploding to his face, before any of that can even happen, he gets a double horse hoof kick to the fucking heart that throws him like 700 goddamn miles. Bro's dead. His heart exploded when that happened. But because they are needed for the rest of the movie, they didn't die. That one kind of took me out of it a little bit, but What are you going to do? There's no such thing as a perfect film. Even perfect films, not perfect films. All right. Well, thank you all so much for sticking around this long. That's the very last thought I had for this. But real quick, before you leave, I was wondering if you could help me out real quick. I mean, you seem like the kind of person who's going to like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell and all that good jiggity jazz because you're a good judge of character and quality, but it would really help me out. I mean, you sat through the whole fucking video already, so I must have done something right, yeah? So, clicky clicky, subscribey, dingy dingy. Thank you so much. And until I see you again, remember, always go forth and be good fucking human.